Hey there, Mr. Cartoon Head. I hope you're having a great day. Now, here's that other guy with another episode of your favorite podcast. And don't forget, this podcast is also available in video, so check out the link. Now, here's that other guy. Hey, I hope you are having a great day. It's Friday, August 12th, year of our Lord 2022, and today's podcast episode is, well, I'm breaking a rule. You should never break this rule. I'm going to post a podcast episode on Missional Money, the podcast, which again, as Mr. Cartoon Head said, is also available in video. So if you're not seeing my lips move, you're missing the video. So you can see the page at missionalmoney.com. Big changes this week since we last met. But also, I wanted to point out that I am posting on saltyadvisors.com. That is a new website that I created. I'll tell you why. In the next several episodes, I'm going to talk about QuickStart financial planning, which is it's a kind of a micro course that I put together for clients, for friends, family. Mainly it's for friends and family of clients and also my friends. But this is a free resource packed with value. If you ever thought about updating your financial plan, this is a great opportunity to do that. So I'm going to be talking about that over the next several months, but I just wanted to make a note of it, kind of highlight it at the beginning of today's show, because if you notice now, if you go to missionalmoney.com, which is where we really focus on the podcast and the training and education, missionalmoney.com, you'll see that I've made each of these buttons. They're homemade buttons. I hope you like the buttons. I made them myself using Get Stencil. So anyway, I created these buttons. Quick Start. If you click on Quick Start, you'll find the new page along with, it's really a micro course. If you scroll down, you'll see multiple videos as I'm doing now, and each of the videos has a title. I think I gave it a title, yeah. So again, this is free. This is what I call, what I said is Quick Start is to BayRock Financial what Gmail is to Google. So I tell a story, one of the videos on that page, I tell the story about my experience with Gmail and how it really helped me out and was a tremendous value, and it was free. And naturally, because it was such a great product, it was very easy for me to go ahead and upgrade to a low-cost version of the business upgrade for Gmail, which is Google Workspace. So obviously, if you decide that you want to take your financial planning to the next level after you take advantage of our free Quick Start program, you can click on the pricing and see, well, in fact, I'll click on the pricing and you'll see what is available if you decide to, like I said, take your financial plan to the next level. We have some low-cost monthly subscription plans, but I'm not here to sell that. I'm here just to, I'm here today to post this episode of Missional Money, the podcast. And also, like I said, I'm breaking the rules and I'm posting an episode, really one of the first episodes for saltyadvisors.com. That is an advisor training resource. And I'll tell you real quick why I'm doing this, because QuickStart is really, it's a financial planning resource for anyone, investor or financial advisor who needs to create a financial plan. And it's packed with value. It's free, and it gives you the opportunity to experience creating a financial plan. And I walk you through that. So why do we need another podcast, another website for financial advisors? Here's why. Because at BayRock, I need to hire some financial advisors. And I happen to know that around the country, there are a lot of financial advisors who are in the same situation I'm in. Folks who have started their own RIA, Registered Investment Advisory firm, and they need to have someone who's trained and qualified to work on their team. So that's what I'm doing. I've done training for many years. I teach at the University of Houston, but when I was a State Farm agent, I wrote some books. I did some training. That was my job at State Farm. And one of the things I did was I created training for financial advisors. You can learn more about that if you're interested. If you're a financial advisor, though, you're going to want to check out saltyadvisors.com. So I want to show you what this is going to do. This is really, today I posted a couple of things like Fun Factoid Friday, which I'm going to include in this episode. But here's a little advance notice. You'll hear this. I created a video, so I'm just going to include that in today's post. Fun Factoid Friday. I'm going to try to do that every Friday. But also I wanted to kind of highlight this fellow, Andy Panko. So Andy, you and I haven't actually talked, but I did get your LinkedIn message, and I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to connect with you. So what I'm going to show you, and I hope this doesn't seem too weird for you, Andy, or for any other financial advisors who may be interested in what I'm going to be doing at saltyadvisors.com. But I wanted to just I would have featured myself and shown you as an advisor or as an investor what kind of resources I post to help invite and engage people into the financial planning process. That's why I do what I do. That's what the podcast is for. That's why I created BayRock Financial, my company. I worked on Wall Street. I worked in the wealth management department of Morgan Stanley. I learned everything I needed to learn so that I could really feel confident about what I do. Like this guy, Andy Panko, who I suspect is very confident in what he does. In fact, I've been reading his articles. I've been stalking him online, if you will. But the truth is, Andy posts a tremendous amount of material like me. In fact, I think maybe we're kindred spirits. I hope, again, I don't offend you, Andy. But I just copied and pasted information and spent about 30 minutes this afternoon and just learned about you, and we connected on LinkedIn. So I want to interview you on this podcast, on the Salty Advisor podcast, to talk about some of the ways that you build trust with clients and some of the ways that you engage clients. I want to compare notes, but obviously also I want to engage you to help me, which you already do. I mean, I use resources like your resources to train my students at the University of Houston. I look for guys like you and people like you, certified financial planners who are obviously very passionate about financial life planning, which obviously you are. So all of this I just grabbed from the internet and created this post. So I did apply, by the way, Andy, to your Facebook group. I hope I get accepted. I have not yet heard, but I just grabbed the image off your Facebook page. I have not yet created a Facebook group. I'm working on that, but your Facebook group, in my opinion, is a great model for anyone in our business. And that's why I'm posting this. That's why I did post this at saltyadvisors.com, because I needed to check out to see if I just built this website, so I wanted to make sure everything worked, and it looks good. I like the way it looks. You tell me what you think. I'm sure I need to make some edits, but pretty much I just grabbed stuff from your website and from your LinkedIn profile, and I tried to keep all of the links here that go to your stuff. So the podcast, I haven't listened to your podcast yet, but I'm really excited about listening to your podcast, and you sent me a message in LinkedIn saying that you would like to subscribe to my podcast. So this is really the second episode of Salty Advisors podcast. But I've been doing Missional Money for a while. This is different. So again, I'm breaking the rules by posting this in both podcasts, Missional Money and Salty Advisors. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight Andy's got a great YouTube channel. Let's see, somewhere in there I scrolled through his YouTube channel, but everything, I love the way everything looks, Andy, the way that you've branded yourself. I want to get into your resources here in a minute and show folks, because you use the same FP Pathfinder that I use, Michael Kitcey's program. It's a great resource, but all of your branding, it's just very simple, and I like the blue, and it just looks great, and it doesn't look like maybe you did spend a lot of money doing it, but it does look like something I could do using the tools that I use on my Mac computer. So yeah, here's a YouTube channel. You can see right here, that little thing right there tells me I did something wrong, didn't grab the right image or post it correctly. Now I want to talk about some of the resources, and the reason this is important is because I post a tremendous amount of resources, and when I started to look at Andy's presence on the internet, I realized he's using the same tools I'm using in a little bit different way. So these are all free resources through Andy's company, Tenon Financial. Andy, by the way, is in New Jersey. I don't think I would be highlighting an advisor with this much credibility and this much, if you were in Houston, Andy, I wouldn't be doing this. But since you're in New Jersey, I think this is a great way for us to collaborate. So, you're the kind of person I would love to affiliate myself with. And I'm going to be doing a really big project to train financial advisors. If I have a financial advisor who comes to saltyadvisors.com and wants to take advantage of our certification program and goes through the training and then wants to get a job, I need to build a group of about 50 advisors around the country. I'll tell you more about that soon. But obviously, if an advisor went through my training and then wanted a job in New Jersey, if a guy like you needed to hire someone who had the kind of training that I'm going to provide, that's why I need to build a network of financial advisors who are like myself, who need the same thing I need. We need qualified, committed professionals with talent who are passionate about financial life planning and wanting to get into the business. And so I'm looking at your stuff here, Andy, and I really like it. And I'm thinking, if there was a model for how we wanted to practice marketing, you're the guy. And you're doing a lot of the same things I'm doing, and you're doing them a lot better than I am. And that's why I'm posting this stuff. So here's a list of free resources. So if you're watching this is available at saltyadvisors.com. You can just click on the Andy Panko post, but this is all free stuff, and I have links back to Andy's website. So let's just click on one of my favorite resources, and I have this too. Again, this is a resource I use. I subscribe to the same provider that Andy does here, but look at this. This is important numbers for 2022, and I love the color. I can change my colors, but man, I like these colors. Andy, you did a great job. I love your logo. I mean, I would show you mine side by side, and I would be embarrassed. Yours it's just great. Look at that, a T and an F for Tenon Financial. It's just great job, man. Tremendously beautiful marketing. You took this tool that's available. I think if I scroll down to, it's different. Yours is different. So yeah, you did something different. I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's really inside baseball, but I do want to talk to you about how you did this, because yours is superior to mine. So every one of these resources are fantastic resources. Michael Kitcey's and his team put them together, and Andy grabbed them and used them, and really he branded them. Andy did a great job branding them, which is the same thing anyone who is a customer of FP Pathfinder can do. So just nicely done. So again, all of those resources are available on the post that I put at saltyadvisors.com named Andy. What is it named? It's named Andy Panko, Certified Financial Planner. So Andy, I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I hope I didn't offend you by taking all that great information and highlighting it, showcasing it. If that offends you, I can delete it easily, but doesn't that look great? I mean, I've built a lot of cheesy websites because I don't know why. I don't golf. It's just something I kind of learned how to do. But this really came out well, I think. This page, this site, saltyadvisors.com, you have to check it out. When you know that this was a homemade site, that I did this myself in a couple hours, I think you have to be impressed that you could do something like this without spending a lot of money. And this post that I'm scrolling through, I think it looks great, and it's all based on a template. I just grabbed it, created a markdown document, and then used Mars Edit to create the post. And it's super, super easy, but beautiful, beautiful stuff. Thank you, Andy, for the work that you do. Can't wait to hopefully have an interview with you because I have lots of questions I want to ask you. Okay, so back to missional money. I think that's about it. I want to just kind of go over QuickStart. If you haven't heard about it, if you haven't been invited, it's going to be like I said. QuickStart is to BayRock what Gmail is or was to Google. When I first got introduced to Gmail, well, I'll tell you this story. It's coming right now. I'll see you next time. I'm going to play the story, the Gmail QuickStart story, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. And Andy, I can't wait to talk to you soon. Take care, man. Hey, Mr. Cartoon Head again. I hope you're not getting tired of me, but I'm here to introduce another video in our series for QuickStart Financial Planning. So in this video, I want to tell you my Gmail story. I call this Gmail QuickStart. So when did you first hear about Gmail? Maybe you're not a Gmail user, but I first heard about Gmail back in 2005. And I'll tell you, Gmail is to Google what QuickStart is to BayRock. So I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with Gmail and how QuickStart Financial Planning came to be at my company, BayRock Financial. So I'll tell you the story, but first just let me say that Gmail is, in my opinion, one of the finest products ever created on the planet. And in terms of my experience with Gmail, it was phenomenally valuable. And I'll tell you the story in a minute about Hurricane Katrina and how I was able to use Gmail to do something I really never dreamed. Well, I did dream about the perfect kind of email, and Gmail was kind of that dream come true for me. And so for all of these years, back in 2005, when I discovered Gmail and used it and still use it, I use the professional business version of Gmail, Google Workspace, I think is what it's called, but I pay a relatively small monthly subscription fee, and I get tremendous value from my Gmail services. And so as I built my company, BayRock, I wanted to have a product like Gmail that was free, that provided tremendous value, just like Gmail. I mean, Gmail provided amazing value. In this post, if you click on the post under the video, there's a link. And I just kind of shared my story about Gmail, what it is, how it works, and why it was so tremendously valuable for me. But BayRock, my company, I wanted to create something. I always dreamed of having a product like Gmail that was free, that folks could use and experience and discover that it was so good that naturally they would want to upgrade and pay a small fee to go to the business version. And so that's what QuickStart Financial Planning is for BayRock. QuickStart is to BayRock what Gmail is to Google. And so QuickStart Financial Planning is free. We put this together as kind of a micro course to help onboard new small clients, to provide financial planning, comprehensive financial planning for family members and family members of clients and students at the University of Houston and other students and friends and family. And it's free. And it's tremendously valuable, as you'll see if you subscribe, which is what I hope you will do, is subscribe to the free version, the QuickStart Financial Planning micro course, and I'll teach you how to create a compelling financial plan. But the reason that I'm creating this short video is to share my story about Gmail and QuickStart. Again, Gmail is to Google what QuickStart is to BayRock. So back in 2005, I was a State Farm agent. And I was a fire claims adjuster before I became a State Farm agent. I trained adjusters around the country. So I worked as a staff adjuster at State Farm, and I was paid like a staff adjuster. And I always got to see all these independent claims adjusters who made gobs and gobs and gobs of money. And so when I became a State Farm agent, an independent contract agent for State Farm, a captive State Farm agent, I was a business owner, and I kept my adjuster's license, and I began to work as an independent adjuster. And so I was able to work for any company other than State Farm as an independent claims adjuster, and you can make a lot of money doing that. Well, in 2005, you may recall Hurricane Rita. That's a whole nother story, but Hurricane Katrina came before Hurricane Rita, and it was at the time one of the biggest events in the insurance industry. And a buddy of mine, Jim Crawley, who owns an independent adjusting firm, he called me up and he asked me to work for him. And I was so excited to do that, except it was New Orleans. And Katrina was huge. And I worked from Mobile, Alabama to Houston and New Orleans and everywhere in between. But what happened was my friend Toby Wise sent me an email and said, hey, I've discovered this really cool free email service called Gmail. This was back in 2005. Everybody thought it was a joke because they announced Gmail on April 1st. They thought it was an April Fool's joke. April 1st, I think 2004 is when they announced it. But the only way you could get in on a Gmail account is if somebody sent you an invitation. It was a pretty cool marketing ploy, and I'm using it too. If you want to be part of QuickStart Financial Planning, you have to be invited either by me or someone else who is already subscribed. That's how Gmail worked. And it worked really well. It's kind of a tricky little thing, but my friend Toby had 25 invitations he could send out, and he chose me as one of his 25 invitations. And he told me why he liked Gmail, and at the time, because of what I was about to do in Hurricane Katrina, it was amazing to me. I couldn't believe it was like an answer to prayer. The fact that I could have an email account where I could send large attachments. Claim files are large attachments with almost unlimited storage, not unlimited, but a lot of storage, and be able to access that email account from anywhere, from my phone, from any laptop, from my computer at the house. It was mind-boggling, the perfect timing that Gmail came into my life. And so I was able to make enough money working Hurricane Katrina to literally pay off my house within about 6 months. And I could not have done that without Gmail. And so I have always been very grateful to Google. And now Google has turned into a big tech company that I'm afraid of, and I think we should all be afraid of. But the truth is, they started out with this product called Gmail that was tremendously valuable. And so I wanted to model that in my company, BayRock. And so that's what QuickStart Financial Planning is. It's a free financial planning kind of micro course, but I promise you it is incredibly valuable, and you have to sign up, subscribe to experience it. And if you do that, you're going to know that I'm telling you the truth and that I'm delivering something as valuable as a Gmail account with incredible benefits for you. You won't know until you jump in and start to build your financial plan, and let me help you build your financial plan. We have a podcast, we have some great online tools, tutorials, but it starts with completing the subscription. So you'll notice on all of my pages on BayRock Financial, and if I go to Missional Money, let me see if I can do that. Missional Money. In all of my pages now, I've got the subscribe, I've got the QuickStart page, but also in the header, I changed the button to subscribe. So all you got to do is, hopefully that's working. Is it working? Yes, it's working. You just scroll down, put in your information. You're welcome to say that you were invited by this guy, Jim Munchback, and tell me if there's something that you want me to talk about in a QuickStart video tutorial, any topic related to financial planning or investment management. I'm happy to cover that in one of these short videos in the QuickStart series. So that's my video. I appreciate you watching, and I do hope you will consider, I'm going to go back to BayRock Financial real quick. This is my company, BayRock. The Missional Money podcast is part of BayRock. It's the way that I produce content, training content for my students at the University of Houston, for my clients, for my family, for my friends. So the podcast is there as well. Also wanted to just let you know there's going to be more QuickStart videos coming your way, and I hope you'll check them out, but please subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one.